Here we go. Sunday night matinee edition of Knicks post-game live presented by Prizepicks. CP the franchise, Alex Rotaro's here. If you're a diehard Knicks fan, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Knicks at home matinee edition against the new look Philadelphia 76ers. And hey man, Knicks hung tight. This was a 12-round fight. And you know, Knicks hung in there. The new look Knicks, led by R.J. Barrett. Getting it in early, going to Broadway Barrett, man. But once again, late game execution would doom this Knicks team. Like I said, they fought valiantly, but in the end, man, the two-headed monster of Embiid and Harden was just too much for this Knicks team. And in crunch time, we know this is not the Knicks' strong suit, man. When it comes to clutch performances, no point guard, no go-to guy, no dice. Philly superstars handled it. Knicks couldn't. Knicks were only trailing by one in the fourth quarter with about 6 minutes to go, and Philly ran away with it, man. 16-4 run was a knockout blow. Knicks lose again, 125-109. Knicks post-game live presented by Prizepicks. CP the franchise, Alex Rotaro's here. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. This was actually a pretty good game for the most part. You know, I wasn't expecting it, obviously, but this new look Sixer team, this high-octane team with Harden in tow, you know, I didn't like our chances early, but give credit to the Knicks. They hung in there. We went heavy RJ early to start this game off, man. Offense flowing through RJ. Heavy RJ. Take it into the third. And Philly looked like they were starting to run away with it a little bit. You know, the third was getting a bit frustrating. Starting lineup was underwhelming. Burks had nothing all night. Thibs. Could we get a little bit of McBride? We'll get to that a little bit later, but give credit to Fournier and Quickly for closing the quarter well. Fournier, 24 points, 6 of 11 from downtown. And Quickly, who's been struggling mightily all season, struggling to find a groove. I think things changed in that third quarter when we finally were getting aggressive and getting into the paint. And that was Quickly. Give Quickly credit, man. Quickly, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 13. From the field, and he was able to close that third quarter well. We tied it going into the fourth, 91 apiece. Started the fourth quarter well, maintaining his aggressiveness. But here's where I thought this thing got out of reach, Al. We lost Jericho, and we're going to talk about him in a little while. We lost Jericho, we lost Mitch, 6 fouls apiece. We were going small. We had a very interesting lineup. We had IQ, RJ, Cam, Julius, and Obi. Very interesting lineup, and I wanted to see that lineup go the distance. But with 6 minutes left, we down by 1. Thibs takes out Cam, brings Burks back in, and then brings Fournier in for Obi. So you're not only losing your defensive potential, because I thought Cam was good out there, active hands all day, length, athleticism, you're losing that, and then you're losing potentially more rebounds where you really need it by taking out Obi and putting in Fournier. To me, Quickly had it cooking at the point you didn't need Burks. And that's my guy. But we're going to call it like it is. You didn't need him. Cam should have finished the game, or you go with Obi to finish the game. I thought that was a big blunder by Thibs. And after that 6-minute point, as you're getting closer to crunch time, you're getting closer to clutch minutes, Philly went on a rampage, man. 16-4 run, and that was a knockout blow, man. What'd you think about this game?
3 things I'm going to point out. You touched on Alec Burks, 34 minutes, I should say. 6 points, 6 boards, no assists, -19 in the plus minus. Wasn't doing anything today. Wasn't giving us anything at the point guard position. Was getting cooked by Tyrese Maxey and anyone else that he was guarding. He was a little too slow today. Didn't think he was deserving of those minutes. I thought, as you said, CP, you know, Cam could have closed this out. Anybody else could have closed this out. We could have Obi Toppin in there. Anybody. There's no reason to go with Burks down the stretch. Even if you want to argue for his defense, he wasn't even giving you defense today.
He wasn't giving you anything.
reason that he should have been in this game
He
whatsoever.
wasn't giving you anything, bro. What was
34
the point,
minutes,
bro?
34 minutes, too much. Next guy I want to talk about, Jericho Sims, because I thought we saw some good stuff from Jericho Sims, especially early on. He got you 10 boards in the first half, and it stopped right there. Got you 2 assists as well, no points. But I like the way that he was battling with Embiid. You know, Embiid is a bigger guy, MVP candidate for this season. He's good. He's able to bring the ball up. He's got good footwork, very diabolical when it comes to working in the paint. But Jericho was holding his own. The ones I could just pinpoint in my memory, back-to-back plays, he blocks Embiid for a shot, and then he denies an entry pass into Embiid as well, gets some critical boards. He was doing a lot. He was doing a lot of good stuff today. You could still see that he's raw when it comes to boxing out and still getting his positioning. But the fact that he was able to battle with an MVP candidate for this season, that gives a lot of like hope, whatever you want to call it, for Jericho Sims moving forward. The other thing I want to touch on is that we were actually seeing some stagger with these lineups, especially early on in the half. You know, you had Thibs was putting RJ out there by himself, giving Randall some rest, and then vice versa with Randall out there and RJ some rest, letting both those guys be the focal points of those lineups. I liked it. He went away from it in the third quarter. He then went back to running the entire starting unit down to the ground again, which made absolutely no sense because you saw that it was kind of working in that first half. You're giving those guys your rest. And if you know you're going to go down to those guys, especially when you see your centers are getting in foul trouble, they're calling everything for not only James Harden today, but Joel Embiid. You need to like think of different rotations in there to get it going. Maybe you even gone to Randall and Obi a little bit earlier than just leaving those guys out on an island on Embiid when he was out there. So I do want to point that there was some stagger. I did like it. I did like the lineups I see. I liked it more so when it was RJ out there. I think it was IQ, Fournier, RJ, Toppin, and Sims. And then they brought back in Mitch, and you brought in Cam for Fournier as well. I like those rotations. Those guys were ready to move out in space. They were pushing the pace. Then you go back to the rotation with Randall, which was Burks, Cam, Randall, Fournier, and Mitch. And that was just too stagnant. No one was cutting. No one was doing anything. I think you could just see that all those guys are not comfortable playing with each other. Even the 2-man game that we're waiting for Fournier and Randall, it's a hit or miss. It wasn't there today.
Terrible.
So I didn't like that rotation one bit, but I understood the thought process behind it. But those are the 3 things I just wanted to point on today and what I took away from this game. We just wasn't down the stretch, man. We don't have the horses to close this game, especially when you run your first unit in the third quarter every single time. It's not going to help. This team doesn't have the horses like a Sixers, like the Nets, like anybody else right now to just, we'll come back. You have to continue to stagger those rotations, and that's why I wanted to point it out.
The thing is that, again, this is a game where you want to see McBride playing because we're getting killed at the point of attack. Obviously, Harden is Harden. He's magic, but Maxey was killing us too, man. And Maxey was cooking Burks tonight. So
had him on the grill, bro. Had him
on the grill tonight, man. And we want to see that defensive effort, that defensive intensity out there, because that could have been a difference in potentially swinging this game. The Knicks were right there. Despite the lousy defense, I thought that what kept us in the game was the second chance points. It was the offensive rebounds as well. We had 20 second chance points to Philadelphia's 8, and I thought that was a big difference in really keeping us in this game. But the thing is that you had to run IQ again from the end of the third, close to the end of the third, all the way to the fourth quarter. So by the end of the fourth quarter now, he's got nothing left. He's got absolutely nothing left. And then you bring Burks in here, who's slowing down the pace. IQ is pushing the pace, pushing the tempo. Burks has no tempo. So the offense gets sputtered into the mud again.
And sorry to cut you off, Stevie, but it would be nice if we had, maybe another guard on the bench that could have been out there who's tenacious on defense, that the coach handpicked himself. Wouldn't it be nice if he got some minutes today, especially when the guy that you said gives you good length doesn't even matter at this point? I don't even care. You want to have like your 6'6" guard out there. What good is a 6'6" guard if he's getting cooked by a shorter guy who's smoking and has quick athleticism? Doesn't mean anything. I wish McBride got out there for a couple of minutes today, because Burks wasn't giving you nothing today. And this is where it just gets frustrating. And especially, and I want to know your thoughts on this too, because is this we lose Mitch, we lose Sims. What's with Noel and what's with Taj? Like at that point,
Yeah.
like are they just done for the season? Like is that it? Like we're not going to see these guys anymore?
That's a good question. Noel had been available since the last game, so he was. They called him available. Maybe they try to give him some extra time to heal up. They got a 7-game road trip coming up. I don't really know. I don't really know.
How much more time does this man need to heal, man?
To be honest, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind going small then with Obi and skipping Noel and Taj altogether. I didn't mind it at all. I did not mind it at all. I think Sims is getting some meaningful minutes, as you said. I thought he played well. I thought he played very well. Obviously, he didn't score. Guards got to get him involved, but 10 boards, a steal, a block. I thought he did a good job rim protecting, teachable lessons against Embiid, teachable lessons on his defense against Harden in the pick and roll. Thought this was good, a good game for film for Jericho Sims. I thought he was good, man. I thought he was solid. So I didn't mind them going OB and Julius because I want to see that. I want to see that a little bit more. It wasn't great, but I still want to see that. We had the opportunity here because Sixers do play Embiid at the 5 and they go with Harris at the 4. So we did have an opportunity to see it, but it was just a head scratcher that you go with that lineup and you completely taking out potential rebounds because he ends up going with Julius at the 5, Fournier at the 4, RJ, IQ, and Burks.
Yeah, that made no sense. Like especially for a guy like Fournier who's not really known for his defense. He's not even a good post defender as well, since Tobias Harris likes to get into the post, likes to get to his mid-range, likes to hang around the nail, like anywhere within 15 or less around the basket. That's where Tobias Harris likes to live. Sure, he can shoot the 3, but he likes to get his back to the basket and work around there as well. So yeah, that was a head scratcher. I don't know. Like if we were in this game, I wouldn't have mind it. Like I know we said we want to see Obi and Randall out there and see what it works. I don't know how well it's going to work, especially when there's no point guard, someone like a Derrick Rose who can facilitate and look for Obi Toppin. I think if you're looking for that small ball lineup to work, it's not really going to work unless either IQ or Burks are on their A game playing the point guard position. And IQ was working it today with regards to scoring. He wasn't necessarily doing a great job facilitating for everybody. And Burks was just, we already discussed Burks. He was just chilling on the grill today. But this is where if you had said, hey, we have Deuce out there, we're going to run with Deuce and Obi and Randall, maybe I could have bought into that a little more. I think for me, I would have rather seen Noel or even Taj at this point because it's not that lineup is not going to work. We wanted it earlier in the season because we had someone like Kemba. It's like, okay, we have a point guard here. Maybe he can make that work. Okay, you have Derrick Rose in the rotation. Fine, let's see if that works. If you have no guard for Obi Toppin, like we saw Cam get it to him, driving the baseline and finishing.
Nice cut.
It was a nice cut. Finally, we're getting a little bit of cutting around here instead of guys just chilling on the perimeter. But I feel like if we had those guys available, not necessarily Kemba Walker, but like if we had some point guard available, I would be okay with it. But in something like this where it's close, I've gone with Taj or something. But I get it, especially if you're for the tank train. I know the people who are in the tank train right now. Throw out the soldier caps in there. If you're in the chat right now. I know this was a good game for you to see. Good game, good one for the tank as well.
Yeah, good one for the tank. Competitive game through and through. Again, solid one for the tank, man. Definitely solid one for the tank. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks post-game live presented by Prizepicks, Sunday matinee edition. Salute to our Knicks fans worldwide, especially my guys over in Europe who are up at a reasonable hour watching us, man. Salute to you guys, all my guys in the UK, England, Germany. Salute to you guys, France. Everybody up watching us right now. Let's go through some of these stats here. And again, story coming in from last game, turnovers, bro. When you don't play a competent point guard, you turn the ball over. You got Julius jump passing to nobody. Rambling wreck out there. 18 turnovers for the Knicks that led to 22 Sixer points. This is a number 1 team in the league in steals. Got to be careful. RJ got his pockets picked quite a few times. Harden got him. Thibs got him on the help defense. It was good help defense on RJ early in the game. Got to take care of the rock, man. It's too many unforced and careless turnovers. It's hard to win against a solid team like that when you're chucking the ball all over the place.
I mean, we had 4 turnovers in the first quarter, which allowed for 12 fast break points. You know, that's not that we just came out of the gate early like that, where it was just sloppy play, sloppy ball control like that. We have to be a low turnover team if we're going to this team has to be perfect in every situation in order to win. And to have just that many, I'm trying to get all the turnovers that we have for today. It's ridiculous. I think we had something like 18 turnovers today. We had 18 turnovers and we had 22 points, and we allowed 22 points off those turnovers. 18 of them came in transition. We're not even guarding in transition well. Yeah. It's just terrible. This team, this is what happens when you don't have a point guard, as you said, CP. Like, this has been the time and time again. Like, the last good thing we had was Raymond Felton, Jason Kidd playing point guard. You know, sure, Derrick Rose recently for the second unit, but we need someone who could man it, because you see this team is lost. And even offensively, this team's lost. I remember seeing like RJ doing like not even a cross court pass, just trying to get to Cam or Fournier in the corner. And it made no sense. You have guys just trying to pass it around. There's no offensive creation. A lot of guys just chilling on the perimeter, just trying to swing it around. But then it just allows to a lot of stagnant players. Makes it easier to steal. Makes it easier to hop into the passing lanes.
Yeah, no question. No question. Definitely frustrating. And again, free throws. You know, as much as we want to sing RJ's praises for his aggressiveness and taking over the offense, 6 of 10 from the stripe. Julius 7 of 12 from the stripe. Knicks as a team, 22 of 35 from the stripe, 62%. And Philly, conversely, 88%. 39 of 44 for Philly. You had 79 free throw attempts between the two teams, Al. Crazy.
Refs just want everyone at the line today, man. Oh, man. Embiid had 27 attempts. Like, I don't know how. Come on, man. 27 attempts. Crazy. The refs were pretty bad this game. I'm not going to say that Sims and Robinson weren't like fouling Embiid, but there was a lot of questionable fouls, especially for Embiid there to 27. It's too much.
A lot of ticky-tack fouls, man. I mean, between Embiid and Harden, they're going to have you throwing stuff at your TV come playoff time, man, the way they get those calls from the refs. But that was disappointing. But for the Knicks, man, you got to make your free throws, RJ. He said yesterday he was in the lab. He took 200 free throw attempts. Got to make them, man. Julius, too. And it's contagious. It's starting to become contagious. So that was less than ideal. Again, against a good team like this, those are missed opportunities. You know, missed opportunities against a team like this. How about RJ running the offense, man? What'd you think about that? Heavy dose of RJ today to start this game off. What'd you think about RJ as the lead dog?
I think for the last 2 games, as you've seen when he's come back, that this team has been more competitive in their games. Something that we've missed on this team since RJ was out is just a player that can attack downhill and be relentless and finish too. Like, RJ's finishing pretty well since he's come back, especially off that ankle injury. But I like that they're running the offense through him. It's usually through a wing in today's NBA that you see that is usually showcased. I love it. He's 21. There's so much more room for him to grow, but I love it. It's just better than watching Randall bring it up and then seem a little confused and either just hesitant with knowing what he wants to do with it, or just fumbling over because he's trying to back somebody down from the 3-point arc. It just makes no sense when you watch it. With RJ, at least, you know, you see him going, he knows what he wants to do. He's pretty decisive with the ball, whether he wants to do that snake dribble and then drive or just go right in or take a shot. I think that's something that's been missing from this team since he's been gone, is someone that's very decisive. Sure, we saw Randall do it, but RJ's a little bit more decisive, a little bit more dynamic when it comes to that area of the game. And you see it. Thibs keeps preaching it. I keep mentioning it on here as well. This team works when you have someone driving. And that's the other thing I think what was good about staggering them. And I wish Randall did more of it too, when he was the focal point of it, was just attack. Because Randall likes to pull up for these mid-range and difficult mid-range shots instead of just going like be that bull in a china closet, just get to the rim. You got to the line. You got 12 free throw attempts today because you're able to go downhill and someone's going to foul you. Same thing with RJ. They know that he's so strong that he's going to get fouled and he can go to the line. Now, hitting them is the most important part of it, but it'll slow down the game. It'll get guys out of rhythm, and it can help the Knicks. But once again, that type of style of play only works if these guys are hitting their free throws. So,
right.
But I like watching it run through RJ, man. I think it's a prettier game, and you see that he has more chemistry with guys, even with that. That's my opinion. But especially when Cam's out there, IQ's out there, even when Mitch is out there, because he likes to find Mitch for the Gotham Wob.
Yeah.
But he looks more comfortable working with everybody than it is really with Randall, because I think Randall is just so stuck on just trying to get his, and then so like he's like a deer in the headlight when it comes to figuring out who he needs to get the ball to. I think RJ's a little bit more decisive in that manner.
Agreed. And that's why I like the way that it runs through him, and just the fact that you have a guy that can see the whole court by running it from the nail or the middle of the court, rather than playing it through Randall in the post, waiting for the double teams to come, making bad decisions out of that, and forcing bad plays. At least with RJ, you get him attacking, you get him downhill, you're on the pistol action. He's been finishing a lot better, both hands. And then if it's not there, he can make a pass out, kick out, and space the floor for me. He had 6 dimes today. And I just like that, man. Very aggressive. My prize picks lock of the day today was RJ over 3.5 free throws, and he hit that in the first half. So I definitely liked how he was being aggressive. Got his pockets picked. Obviously, Harden is good in that way, and obviously Thibault. Philly has a good defense, so got to be careful there. Got to show up the handles. But nice, nice job by RJ to kind of try to set that tone for us today. What else? Mitch, not so much to talk about. Mitch, Burks, terrible. Fournier had a decent stretch shooting. As I said, 6 of 11 from downtown, 24 points for Fournier. We did talk about Sims. Thought Obi was pretty decent, but let's get to Cam, man, because when we talked about not having, and this is why again I was frustrated, watching Burks' minutes out there, because at that point, in the third, especially when things were slowing down with our offense, we weren't getting those drives. We weren't getting it from Burks. We weren't getting it. They weren't going to RJ. We weren't getting it from Julius either. Cam is a guy that can get into the paint easily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he had some nice flashes today. I thought he had some really nice flashes on both ends of the floor. Got in transition. Got a nice little layup in transition. Got another scoop layup in there. Knocked down a nice shot, a little elbow action on the left side of the court. And then he had a nice baseline drive where he caught Obi for a nice cut. And then we didn't see him again. And that was pretty much his night.
It makes no sense. He just offers us a different dimension to this team that we've not had. You see him cutting off ball when we don't even get that from most of our guys. Yeah. You talk like that first drive, it was a beautiful Euro. Like that's just something we don't have on this team, like athleticism, length, especially at the wing position. So why not utilize him and allow that? And you see, even from like last game, him and RJ have some chemistry.
Yeah.
From still playing at Duke and working back and forth in transition. Like that's what's going to get you some transition points, or even lead to a foul to get to transition. Because even for Cam, if he gets fouled, he's a good free throw shooter. So why not leave him out there? He's playing well. He's 3 for 6 today. He's got you 3 boards, 2 assists. He's got a steal. He's got a block for you. He's all over the place. But you want to go back to Burks, who's legitimately giving you nothing. And even if you want to say Thibs trusts his veterans to close out a game because he hasn't had Cam on this team, it doesn't make sense to me, because we just saw what he gave you this game. And he was playing some pretty good minutes. Sure, there were moments where it's like, come on, man, keep it all together, be more aware on defense. Don't really force some shots here or there, but overall, he gave you more than what Burks was giving you tonight. And I would have liked to seen him close out this game, especially when you have guys like Tobias Harris, Maxey, Harden, Thibault. Like, if you got to match length, go ahead and match length, especially with someone who's just so dynamic as Cam. Like, we keep saying he's tantalizing, and he is by the way that he plays this game. So just got to give him more minutes too to see what you have in this team, and just also run some more plays. I want to go back to like that lineup I said with Fournier, Cam, Randall, Mitch, and Burks. He was just out there chilling in the 3-point, like in the corner all the time. I would like to see some plays run for him, because he's moving quick. He's looking for guys too. And instead of just leaving him as a 3-point shot, because he clearly didn't have it today, run some plays for him. Do the same thing. Run the pistol action for him. He's athletic enough and got long enough strides and a long enough reach that he could possibly finish or get fouled. But instead, we're not running it for him. We're not giving him any plays. He's just out there as just a body. And I don't really like that we're just seeing him as a body at this point. We need to get him more involved in this offense. And that's why, you keep bringing it up. I hope we get an offensive coordinator if Thibs is around, because it's not tolerable at this point, especially with how stagnant and ISO heavy this offense is. What were your thoughts on Cam's minutes though for today?
I thought he was solid. I thought he was solid, and I thought we needed him to close, because he gave you that length, especially on the defensive end. He gave you that length. You had a nice possession where I think it was a steal off of a rebound, gets it right out to RJ in transition. RJ gets the layup. We just needed that. He plays a very dynamic game, even though he still has to put it all together. I thought we could have used that today. This is a winnable game. This was very much a winnable game. I just didn't like how, the substitutions were used to close us out. Turnovers, the free throws, all of that. And you had a calamity in closing this game. Here's Ian Begley, and shout out to JD who threw me this tweet here. JD producing in the background. He says, Nerlens, this is a tweet from Ian Begley, says Nerlens Noel's plantar fasciitis first flared up versus Utah. So now he's got plantar fasciitis. He had a bad knee. Now he's got a bad foot. Flared up in Utah. He's technically available, but not close to 100% per source. For reference, Portland's Jusuf Nurkic was out 4 weeks with same ailment. Noel's ailment was first reported by the Daily News. So you went from the knee to plantar fasciitis. So that's your answer on Noel. And, do you go to Taj at that point? I think you're better off just going, leaving Obi with that unit and seeing where it goes, even though it didn't end well.
So it looks like he's not going to close the season then. It's going to take about 4 weeks. So then there's not even a point to even get him any more minutes. Shut him down.
Jericho Hive is your time, man. This is Jericho's time. So there that is. People want to say, well, if these guys didn't get injured, they wouldn't be playing well. Now's their opportunity to force Thibs' hand to keep them in that rotation. And so Jericho has a good opportunity to do so, because I thought he played very well. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks post-game live presented by Prizepicks. CP the franchise, Alex Rotaros here, recapping the Knicks 129-105 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers, man. Let's go to the phones. Let me kick things off in Arkansas, man. Let me get my... Oh, man, Truth, where you at, man? Oh, man, Truth. Jared, let Truth know, man. He's too much static, man. Truth, I was trying to get you to kick us off, man. What happened? Let's go to the Emerald City, man. Seattle, JT, what's going on?
Hey, what's poppin', y'all? How you doing?
How you feeling, man?
Good. So I have a few things to talk about, but I want to kick it off with kind of what y'all been talking about, RJ running the offense. So let's just keep it real. Let's just put him at the point. No more experiments, no more IQ. IQ had a great game, but he was looking for his own shot. You know what I mean? So put IQ, whether you want to start him or bring him off the bench, put him at the 2. Little baby AI action. Put RJ at the 1, and then bring Cam off the bench and start him. Because I'm tired of. I think the problem with Thibs is like when someone's cooking off the bench, he struggles to have them close. You know what I mean? Whether it's IQ, whether it's Cam Reddish, you know what I mean? So if you start them, they'll just kind of be. He always puts the starters back in. That's just what he does. Yeah. But I agree, Cam is dynamic. I'm going against his fan base, but I think he's more dynamic than Quentin Grimes and has more potential.
For sure.
And damn near the same age. So I'm just like, what are we doing here? He's an actual legitimate wing. And then I'll bring Randall, obviously, start him, and Mitch. But I think we got 20 games left. Last 10 games, I'm saying, Randall, call it a season. You log like mad minutes. Let's just put Obi in there, because Obi and Cam, they look kind of nice today. And I'm just like, Randall doesn't cut to the basket, but Obi does, and so does Cam. So when you got them both in there with RJ running the point, you know what I mean? It's dynamic. You got people cutting, and then you have IQ that can get his own shot. I'm starting to think that, although I love Mitch, we definitely probably do need someone that can space the floor, because if we had Embiid out, when Mitch was still in, then IQ, RJ, all that are guys that can really cut to the basket, and obviously Randall can hit a shot as well. But yeah, man, that's just what I'm thinking, and I'm good with Thibs coaching the rest of the season because he's going to get us into the tank. I'm trying to get Jalen Ivey.
Let's go.
Even if it requires us trading up in the draft, we just got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jalen, that's a little baby John Morant.
Let's do it.
RJ at the point, just for the rest of the season, it might be a stopgap, but it's going to help with his development. Like my man was saying, like, all the wings are basically initiating the offense. James Harden does it for Philly. Luka does it for Dallas. I don't want to hear this nonsense that RJ is not a good playmaker. Julius Randle's number 4 in the league in turnovers right now. So if we're going to keep it buck, RJ gives us a better shot at the point than Burks or Randle initiating the offense. But that's all I had to say.
Appreciate it, man. JT from Seattle on the check-in. We got 1,600 people in the chat on this Sunday matinee, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We got to get up to at least 1,000 likes, man. We did cross over to 48,000 subscribers, so we are on a mission to 50K. Well on our way. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new, man. We'll definitely shout you guys out. And once again, definitely want to welcome everybody in here. We got the Rhyme Animal Chuck D in the chat. Everybody throw a hashtag PE in the chat to salute a legend. Chuck rocking with us early. He's in the Mosh chats rocking with us, man. So definitely appreciate you there. And for those of you watching at home, you do have to subscribe to chat. It's just a way for us to keep the chat organized and keep all the bots and stuff out of there. So just hit that subscribe button. It's free to do so. And you can jump into the chat, man. Jump into the Mosh chat and get your points across. Okay, let's get to the phones. Let's go to Red Velvet Papi on the Discord. Interesting name. We'll see how this call goes. Red Velvet Papi. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, what's good?
Yo, how you feeling?
I've been tuning in lately. Y'all keep coming up in my YouTube recommended. Y'all got a good show going.
Yeah,
so
you damn right it's recommended, man. You came to the right place, my guy. Well, welcome to the Discord as well. What's good?
Yeah, man, I'm chilling. I don't think that was necessarily a bad game. You know, I think we got what we wanted. We were competitive, and the kids played well when they did play. Jericho Sims, he's being active out there. Embiid's bullying him, but Embiid's one of the best bigs in the league. He's gonna do that to most bigs.
Yeah.
You got quickly finally found his rhythm, and I think why he found his rhythm is because he was playing off ball for the most part. Like if you notice when he was attacking, it was off of RJ attacking and kicking, and then he gets an open three, or RJ attacking and kicking, and then he drives to the rim and gets an easy floater or and one. So I think the thing with quickly is he can't have that ball responsibility. He needs to be off the ball for him to really thrive. And I think RJ is showing that even if he's not a natural born playmaker, he's smart enough and thinks the game enough to be able to make a read when he's going downhill and he sees, oh, they're helping off. I'm going to kick it out to XYZ. And then Julius, Cam, quickly, they could all make a play after that because they also are all thinking the game. They also understand, like, all right, I just got to take one dribble pull up. I got to make a dart to the basket. I got to catch and shoot this. And I think Cam also has the ability to do what RJ was doing today. It's just a matter of Thibs being able to trust him.
Yeah.
And I also think that RJ gives us, I also think Cam gives us a bit of what RJ gives us on defense as well, with the length and the versatility and being able to guard multiple positions, being strong, active hands. And I think we need to see more of that as opposed to just throwing in Burks out there.
Man, I'm surprised that he took him out of the game. Like, I didn't that closing lineup was just a head scratcher, man. I'm just very surprised he took Cam or Obi out of the game for that matter. But yeah, you're right, man.
I also think Obi is better suited to play in that small ball lineup because when Mitch or Jericho Sims is out the game, then Julius has the ability to play in that mid-range area to three-point line, so it frees up lanes for him to cut, like you saw with Cam on the baseline drive and whatnot. So I think Thibs might need to experiment a little bit more with that, just to maximize Obi's ability. Because Obi was kind of a shooter in college, but he's not no spot-up shooter like they have him. Like, he's best when he's able to get on a cut or go downhill out of pick and roll and use that athletic ability. So I think we need to see more of that to maximize his talent. Because I think there's a lot of talent here, and it could be a winning team if we use it right and mold the offense to what we have, as opposed to just keep doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good. Appreciate it, man. Good call. Definitely call Call back again, man. Good call. Red Velvet Papi in the Discord, man. An interesting name, man. An interesting name. It was an interesting call, man. He came in all notched out. He's like, yeah, man, you know, your show just keeps popping up in my feed, so I figured I'd call in and give my 2 cents.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. But then his call was good, so I settled down.
Yeah.
I was a little irritated by that comment, but I appreciate him, you know, settling in. He came in with some great takes. Rate that call in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. 1 being trash, 5 being facts.
But you know what that means, CP?
Yeah.
The algorithm is working.
Oh,
so
the
hit that like
algorithm
button.
is on point. That's why we say hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell, because the algorithm, that is why we do it. We crack the algorithm and let the people know this is the #1 show for the fans by the fans. Whether you're a Knicks fan or a basketball fan, you're all welcome. So salute to everybody here, man. Absolutely. His point on Obi, yeah, definitely want to see that small ball lineup more. I thought Obi did a good job cutting today, even when he didn't get the ball. And again, that opens things up for the lineup. The one thing he's got to do better, he's got to do a lot of things better, but rebounding. He's got to rebound. He's got to rebound. Only 2 today in the 16 minutes. He's got to get on the boards a little bit more, and I think that's what Thibs wants to see, a bit more consistency on the defense and on the rebounding. And, but we also saw some pick-and-roll action between Obi and RJ on the sidelines, out-of-bounds play. Didn't see any more of it.
I know. We saw very, very, very little pick and roll action today. Like there was I forget all that happened, but it was more so with Jericho Sims than anyone else. But man, we could just run the pick and roll. Like you see how effective it is for the Philadelphia 76ers. We'll get Harden and Embiid. Granted, it's Harden and Embiid, but just can we get some of that? Just someone just diving down or just create some open space for somebody. That's all. That's all we need. Like especially for RJ. Like let RJ do it. You could do RJ and Randall. You could do RJ and Obi. RJ and Randall would be a really good one. Yeah. Like in my opinion, because you have 2 guys that can either shoot or just finish around the rim.
Yeah.
So
RJ's finishing a lot better at around the rim now. You got to respect it.
But you know what? We just need someone who can just say offensively, let's do it. And this is where it's just too much ISO, man. I get tired of all this ISO basketball.
Yeah.
It's just so ugly to watch. There was like a good stretch during the 3rd quarter where everyone was just standing around on the perimeter. I think IQ was trying to do something, was dribbling around for a little bit, passes to Randall. Randall then shoots over hard. I'm like, what? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we taking these type of shots? Can we just make it easier for ourselves? That's the one thing this team does not do. They do not make any shots easy for themselves.
Absolutely.
Something's got to change with that for next season.
Speaking of offense, let's hear from Evan Fournier. Let's hear from Evan Fournier. Let me see how his post-game audio is, because he spoke on the offense a little bit in his post-game press conference. So let's hear this Fournier audio.
Just the execution part. I think the last time I was
so his audio's not that
I
great.
said exactly the same thing. You know, it keeps happening, and that's what it's so frustrating. We just need to execute better, and we need to. The 4th quarter, the intensity is different, but. When you look at, for example, Philly, they just ran a simple pick and roll with James and Embiid. I mean, obviously they are 2 great players, so it's a tough cover. But I think our offense down the stretch, it needs to be a little bit more like players. Like we need to think a little bit more about what we want to achieve when we run something. To start the game, 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, you're trying to get into a rhythm. You move the ball. You go from one side to the other because everybody has to touch it, and everyone has to feel good. The 4th quarter is different. That's where it's time to really execute our stuff and go to our best players and yeah, man, it's frustrating because we're really we're not far at all. We should be winning these games, man. It's frustrating, very frustrating.
Okay, all right. So a little low. Sometimes the post-game mics are a little bit low in SNY, but I think we were able to hear that well. And Fournier said the same thing, man. Fournier said we got to tighten up offensively in crunch time. Go to our best players. So a lot of Julius with the rock in the crunch time.
It somehow always gets back to him, man. RJ, somehow it always gets back to him. RJ had 50 points the other night. All right, close to it. and it's like it could still end up in Julius's hands late in the game. We're like, what?
Yeah. Execution, man. Execution. Fournier on the money. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Let's shout out Team Hashtag News. We got SB in here. Salute SB. Team Hashtag New. We have Malik Shabazz. Salute to Malik Shabazz. Russell Reed, Jamaica, checking in the building. Al. Shout out to Russell Reed. Go. Yeah, man. Let's get it cracking. I see a lot of Jamaican flags on the in the chat. Yeah, the Fournier volume is low. That was the best I could do there. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But yeah,
love the confidence though.
Yeah,
love the confidence by Fournier.
Yeah,
thinks this team can win.
Absolutely.
A lot needs to change in order to have that confidence though.
Facts.
I'm not gonna lie.
Facts. Salute. Let's get it. 23NY says the only show for Knicks fans. Act like you know. Salute CP. Salute. Let's get it. 23NY, man. Great comment. Okay, back to the phones we go. Let's go to JJ from Brooklyn. JJ, what's good?
Yo, what's good, fellas? How you guys doing, man?
Good. How you feeling, bro? Good, man. What's good?
Doing good, man. Doing well. First, man, I mean, the thing with Thibs that just really annoys me, he just does not hold Randall accountable at all. The turnovers, he's getting beat backdoor today all game. Like, if that was Obi doing that, he would have been yanked. He would have been yelling at him. He doesn't even look at Randall. He won't even say a word. How many times did he get beat backdoor today?
Yeah,
that was
killing
critical
us, man.
moments.
Killing us. Thibault caught us in a couple backdoor plays, man. It was terrible.
Yeah, and a couple.
Yeah.
You know, and then he just doesn't hold him accountable. He'll never say anything to him about it. He'll never take him out of the game for it. That's just a bad look, man. You know, the rest of the players, you don't think these guys see it?
Yeah.
You know, it's just ridiculous, man. Thibs and Randall are a huge part of the problems. They just are, as well as having no point guard, obviously. And the thing with Randall, too, if you notice, there was the end of the third quarter, right? Quickly had the ball, the last play. And if you notice, he gave quickly a look. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm the guy who takes every shot at the end of the quarters. Like, you are, but you shouldn't be. You're not that guy. It doesn't have to be you every last, you know, at the end of the quarters, every single, you know, every quarter. Like, relax. He gave him a look. Like, why do you have the ball? Why are you taking the last shot? Like, quickly had it going. Like, relax, man. Yeah. And, you know, my last point real quick is, I just want to know, what direction do you guys think they're going to go in the off season, and what direction do you want them to go? Because this is not it. Like, you know, looking at Tankathon, we're still in the same spot we were like 2-3 weeks ago when people were saying let's tank. Like, it's like, you know, I think we have to choose a direction. If it was me, honestly, I know people are probably going to hate this, but if we're not getting a star, I'm ready to do a 3-year, like, tank/rebuild, whatever you want to call it. You're bringing Kenny Atkinson. You're bringing someone who's about development. You keep building through the draft, because this isn't it, you know, being 9th, 10th in the Tankathon standings.
Yeah.
We're not getting the stars. And even if we do, you know, it's going to be through trade, because the stars don't want to come here through free agency. You don't think you're going to have to give up an RJ if you want to get, you know, a Donovan Mitchell or whoever? You're going to have to give up picks. You're going to have to give up players you guys love. So that's just what, you know, I just wanted to see what you guys think, what direction you think they're going to go, and what direction would you guys want to go.
Appreciate it, man.
But thanks for taking the call, man.
Appreciate
you guys
it,
have a good one, all right?
Yep, you too, man. You too. Oh, what direction they're going to go is they're going to keep trying to get good plays, and it has to start at the point guard. You know, whether they evaluate McBride that way or they go in the draft, they try to get an Ivy or Ty Washington. You guys like the kid from Kentucky. We got the article up on KnicksFanTV.com, the top 5 point guard prospects to watch in the draft. Do they want to go get a Jalen Brunson? Do they use Mitch in that type of trade? You know, what type of sign and trade do they get for a Jalen Brunson? I think it's going to start with the point guard. You know, I think it's going to start with the point guard, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Either Ivy and even like if you're trying to get Jay and Ivy and you're, you know, looks like at this point we're going to be in the lottery. Even if you're out of reach, I think the Knicks themselves got to think about trading some of that draft capital to move up to get somebody like that. You just watch him and you see how tenacious he is. He looks like a gamer out there. You need somebody like that on the team. You need someone with grit, passion, someone who wants to get out there and constantly fight.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like Jaden Ivey right now. So if I were the Knicks, I would move in that direction. Or if you want to go get Jalen Brunson, because I do love Jalen Brunson too. If you don't want to trade your draft capital for that and you still want to stockpile, go make a big push to go get Jalen Brunson. If you want to still feature RJ, you want someone who's cerebral, who thinks of the game at a high level, go get that guy. If he can play next to Luka Doncic and still get his, like, granted, it's Luka Doncic he's playing next to, but he's still, even when Luka's out there, he's still doing his thing.
Right.
So go get someone like Jalen Brunson out in here.
We need a steady hand, man. Go ahead.
Like I said on the last show here, I think it was for the watch along. I think he's like a Kyle Lowry type guy, where he's not the biggest guy on the court. He's cerebral. He's going to give you some solid defense. Not the same defense as Lowry, but
careful
can create his own
ball.
shot. Yeah, very careful with the ball. Is looking to set guys up. Is not, a lot of these guys on our team do the quick reads, right? It's like a quick pass, like you just quickly pass to somebody, not really looking to set them up and play the chess game. He's playing the chess game. I need someone who's going to be playing chess and not checkers out here.
Yeah.
So go get Jalen Brunson. Go get Jay. Go get one of those guys. Even like we just need talent in this building. That's what we need. We don't have it right now. So for this team to finish it off, like who knows? Maybe this is just the tank itself. Like, all right, go put the guys out there that I know are going to lose this thing right now. Because if I leave Cam and everybody else out there, this may have been a closer game and may have won it. But
can't keep waiting.
I'm not.
We can't keep waiting, man. It's time.
Can't.
If it's not in the draft, go get Brunson, man. We can't keep waiting for the perfect guy. I think this guy can come in here and help us. You know what I'm saying? We cannot keep waiting and waiting for the perfect all-star. John Moran point guard. That may never come.
It's not. There's no perfect player out there. Like you want like the height for defense. You want all this, that, and third.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
6'4" two-way player.
Yeah, right.
It's just
he could shoot 40% from behind the three. He can shoot every shot everywhere. Doesn't make any mistake whatsoever. That guy doesn't exist. So just go get somebody.
We got to go get him. We got to go get him, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Back to the Discord, man. I've been waiting to get to my guy E Crossover. E Crossover, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been a while, man. How you been?
Yes, sir. Good, man. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. Now, I got to say, it was a great fall game. I got to admit, everybody was playing pretty well, just the turnovers, and you got to hit your free throws, man.
Yeah.
Got to hit your damn free throws. They missed, like 13 free throws or 14?
Shot 62%
I don't know
from the stripe, man. Atrocious.
Yeah. And I remember a couple of weeks I said about Julius Randle, stop jump passing.
Oh, my
Good
Lord,
defenses are going to know how you're playing when you do that. He does that all the time. But I just got one thing to talk about, and I actually want y'all to hear me out on this. So, with the Knicks front office and the way they look at Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, right? Mm-hmm. And how everybody on the Discord, everybody in the chat, and especially you guys too, have talked about run the ball more through RJ. Mm-hmm. But Julius Randle seems like if he tries that, he won't be as efficient with RJ running the ball as much, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at it is like the way it is. We just faced Philly. Remember when everybody talked about how Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid were two different type of players and they couldn't really coexist with their offense or how they actually play, because they play kind of like in the paint most of the time, and having Joel Embiid outside on the floor as a three-point shooter messed up his game. That's the same way I feel when I see Julius Randle play with RJ Barrett. Mm-hmm. Sometimes RJ Barrett doesn't be as efficient as he is when he plays with the other unit. Mm-hmm. So I think the front office has a big decision to make to say, who's going to be really the number one guy? You want it to be Julius or you want it to be RJ? Everybody knows it's RJ, but does the front office see it as that? Are they going to keep trying to make sure these guys coexist? Because when they're both on the floor together, the team is not as efficient as you see. They only have very few games where they both score over like 20 or 25 points and they actually win.
Yeah.
So that's just a main question that the front office has to do for the future.
No question.
Can these two coexist?
No question.
And it's a big thing. And quickly, got to give it tonight, man. But we all know he's just that scoring guard that needs to develop a good shot or good moves to get around the basket. We need that guard, play more deuce, and hopefully with how Alec Burks has been playing lately, maybe something that Tom Thibodeau says, like, you know what, this is not working. I'm just going to have to pull him a little earlier and put Deuce in there and see how it goes. That's it, man. You have a good one, bro.
My guy E Crossover on the check-in. Yeah, it bears watching now. How does clearly this is moving in RJ's direction. I mean, we saw today. We got heavy dose. We would not play it around. This was RJ's offense to kick this game off. Heavy dose. And I think it's going to continue that way. Question is, how does Julius play off of him? How does he adjust? Past 2 games hasn't looked that great. Hasn't looked that great. Now, as you said, we did stagger the lineups a bit, which they should continue to do, because you still need Julius out there. Like, if they're going to be on the team, right, and those are going to be your top 2 guys, you're going to need Julius to be effective, to be productive. So now that's on Thibs to figure out which lineups works for him. You know, and to get him going as the feature in that lineup. That's going to be a question as we close the season.
Yeah, it's because we could see the thing is like it has worked. Like we see them both have 20-point games, and we're all like happy. Or it's like, oh wow, this they can play together and both have good games. But the last 2 games, as you pointed out, CP, it's a lot of RJ right now that we're seeing. And I'm gonna throw this right back to you. Do you think Julius is a little bothered right now? Do you think he's bothered being run through RJ right now?
I think Julius is bothered by everything.
Well, I'm saying because like today, like you see that he's getting frustrated. Sure, like he gets frustrated when he's not getting his and he's not shooting his shots, and then you can see it just trickles down to the defense. But I'm looking today, and there's like a time where they because it was on ABC today, and you see they're wired up. You see that he's talking to Mitch saying, hey, if that happens, do this, that, and the third. And Mitch is just not even like really looking at him. He's just kind of looking forward. And it's like, it seems like to be a thing too for like everybody, even Evan Fournier, like him and Randall high-fiving after Evan Fournier hits a shot. I'm like, does everyone just like on edge because of Randall right now? And like, even like last game, JD pointed out where he told Thibs, no, I'm staying in, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, whoa. You get to decide when you stay in? Because if anyone else did that, they ain't staying in.
You're not staying in the game, man.
They're not. Even RJ. We've seen RJ just have a good game, even last season, get pulled. So do you think like there's like something right now where there's like thoughts of like, all right, we're going to try to move Randall this offseason? Do you think it's like, all right, Randall, like we're looking for a new destination for you. Try to play your best, raise your stock. We'll get you out of here. You can go figure out another team to go be the guy, because we're seeing right now it's going to be RJ Barrett. And if Randall is just not only can he work with RJ, but the fact that the team, everybody else is just, it seems like there's just a different vibe when they're interacting with Randall, because there is that lack of accountability for him, that he does get a special treatment, and you can't have that and have a coach saying everyone's held accountable except one guy who should be held more accountable for the style of play. Do you think he's going to get moved, or do you think what do you got?
Look, I think what we've seen from the past few seasons and the rumors that have come out, they're not averse to trading him. You know, they're not averse. He's not untouchable, but they're not going to sell low at this point. And I don't think it would serve them well to do so either. Best thing is to see if you can make it work. You know, let's not get it twisted. That West Coast trip, Julius was cooking.
Yeah, he was.
You know, Julius was cooking on that West Coast trip. Got to figure out how to make it work with these two guys. And at this point, let's have them play off of each other more, first and foremost. You know, that 2-man game that you're playing with RJ, with Julius and Fournier, maybe do a little bit more with Julius and RJ and see how that works. And then stagger the minutes. You have RJ running with that second unit, Cam, OB, IQ, getting out in transition. Love it. And then figure out who Julius's lineup is going to be to see.
What lineup for come on.
Oh, my Lord, for Julius. Man.
You couldn't even say that with a straight face.
I couldn't, man. It's a struggle. It's been a struggle this season for him, man. It's been a struggle for him.
It really has been a struggle. And that's the thing, like, this is where I ask, like, are people just like, they're looking at Randall, like, Begley reported that players see that not everyone's held to the same standard. There's only one person that's not held to the same standard. Like, Kemba gets benched. This guy can just jog back on defense, take 20 and make 8.
Yeah.
And still be out there. So that's why, like, finding a lineup for Randall is like, it's funny because if you find a lineup for Randall, in my head, everyone's got to be, you know, out on the perimeter and just allowing that man to just shoot like to the end of time. So I just don't know how that's going to work unless you just overhaul like a lineup for him that fits for him, because RJ that's why I said, like, it was, you saw Fournier out there with RJ and it worked. But you put Fournier back there with Randall, it's not working. And you can put any of those guys with RJ, and it's really working. It all clicks.
Yeah.
Whenever Randall gets back out there, and this is like, it's just not looking good. It just does not look good.
It's definitely seemed a bit off kilter. I wanted to go against him in Prizepicks today. I definitely was looking at some of his numbers. But I went with RJ. And we'll get into prize picks in a little bit. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks post-game live presented by Prize Picks, man. Knicks lose a tough one, 129-105 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Good games by RJ Fournier, IQ. Nice solid bounce back off the bench. Saw some flashes from Cam Reddish. Well, crunch time, when crunch time comes, you lose confidence in this team's ability to execute, and they just couldn't get it. They just could not get it from the final 6 minutes on. It was a train wreck. Sixers went on basically a 16-4 run to knock them out the park. So knock them out the building. So that's basically where we are with that. All right, a couple more calls before we wrap up on this Sunday matinee edition. See some new people on the Discord. Let's see what they're up to, man. GBigdawg. Go ahead and unmute your mic. GBigdawg on the Discord.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, man. Sound like a full
All right,
house
wonderful.
over there.
Yeah, it's gbigdawg.
Yep.
But I appreciate you taking my call. CP, I actually met you. I'm a first-time caller, but I actually met you outside the Rockets game, like early in the season.
Nice.
Yeah. So I appreciate you taking my call. Anyway, I'm gonna go rapid fire. I'm gonna say basically, RJ is not a fluke. What this man is doing, it's incredible, and I think he's showing us the amount of growth that he's had. Also, I love seeing Jericho's energy. He stepped up, but you could also see his youth, I thought.
Yes, yeah.
Because there was at one point he went up to make a layup, and he could have jammed that in. Mm-hmm. And you saw that hesitation, and he kind of looked like he was a little bit caught off guard, and went with the layup, and unfortunately didn't go in. But he could have slammed that bad boy home, and he didn't do it. But that's okay. I like the flashes that I saw from him. The other thing I want to say is, all these guys are pros, right? But what the Knicks don't have, and what's disappointing, is they really don't have the polish. They don't have the attention to detail that these teams, that when you go from good to being great, that's what they have. They have the attention to detail, protecting the ball, doing all the little things. And I think that's something that we're sorely missing. And the last thing I'm going to end on is, Julius, yes, he had a great streak out west, but the talent level of Julius, as we've all said, is, he's maybe your third best option on the team. I'm not comparing Julius to Harden, but I'm just going to give this example. Harden comes into Philly, all right? And within 2 games, this man is playing off Embiid, doing everything. And, he just comes in and they're playing off of each other. Julius can't do that. He doesn't have the talent level to basically come in, and he's been playing with RJ all year. We run the ball through RJ, that's great, but Julius can't figure it out, So I think ultimately, we run the ball through RJ. I think Julius can have a fit on this team, but he's got to be a role player, man. He's got to be a role player. We got to find our stars, and we got to get Julius to just kind of know his role and be a role player on the side. And I'll end it with that. Get those likes up, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call, and all good points, man. Yeah, 2 superstars on the on one side, and Knicks is still looking for it, but. Good call, man. Let's try Night Terror on the Discord. Night Terror, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, what's good, CP? What's good, Al?
How you feeling,
I've been a fan of the show for a minute, man.
Peace, man. What's your name? Where you from, bro?
Oh, my name is Ken. I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay, BK, stand up. What's good, Ken?
You already know the vibes. Yo, this man Thibs, he's driving me crazy, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand how Alex is playing so bad this season, and it's not because he's a bad player, because we saw it last season. He can ball, but you see that in this position you put him in, he is not working. Like, try Deuce, like give Cam minutes at the 3 off the bench and get Alex like off ball at the 2. But nah, I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing and keep losing, and like it's driving me crazy to watch. And like it's just going back to like what a caller said before, like. With Julius being gone, you got to either pick Julius or Thibs. Because if you're going to keep Thibs, then you got to get a player that's going to hold himself accountable like RJ. RJ don't need Thibs to hold him accountable. He does it to himself. You know what I'm saying? But if you gonna keep Julius, then you got to get a different coach to hold him accountable and put him in the position to win offensively and defensively. Because this is not working, bro. It's just not working. Like when Thibs won it last year, it's because we had no chance. Like I did not think we was gonna get that 4th seed. You feel me? But like this season, like you have more weapons. You should be able to like do something with this. Like you wanted Deuce. He drafted this guy for you, and you still won't play him.
Yeah.
But Alec at the point, like I'm just like I'm so confused, bro.
Hang in there, bro. I think we all are at this point, man. Hang in there, man. That's Night Terror on the check-in. Let me salute some of the super chats that came in, and then we'll get to our prize picks. Shout out to let me start with who came in with the first one. Kenny Gales. Shout out Kenny Gales, man. Never misses a show. Always supporting us on a nightly basis with the super chats. He says 76ers because they shoot 76 of them a game. Sims look good. Just a rookie against. He says, just a rookie against an all-star. What did Burks do to deserve 34 minutes and do 0 again? The tank is alive. Salute to Kenny Gales, man. Salute to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, $10 super chat. He says, Knicks youth mixed with the vets is like oil and H2O. Simple as that. Burks is a carnival at point guard. IQ is a fashion show. We got good players in the wrong, terrible positions. This game was exciting until crunch time, man. Shout out to Alan C. He says, after our bigs fouled out, I knew Thibs would lose this game with his late game rotations and lack of in-game feel. Our guy Steve Werner, shout out to Steve Werner, man. He's a very talented designer. Says Steve Werner's the one who designed the new Mitch t-shirt. So shout out to Steve, man. Definitely dope with the pen. He says Alec Burks at point guard, 33 plus minutes, 6 points, 0 assists. Philly shows us what we could have in IQ and Maxey, but Thibs playing Burks major minutes like he's the second coming of Magic Johnson. Salute Steve Werner, man. No, I don't think IQ will ever be the type of player that Maxey is. Maxey's just he's a dynamo, and I wanted him in that pick over IQ. Let's just be real, and the Knicks did as well. And that's just my cousin texted me. He said and during the game, and he was just like it's just the luck of the draft, man. Here you are, just a couple of spots. Maxey's right there, and got picked. So it's tough. Because he's just such a dynamic player. He's going to eat as that third option, off of Embiid and Harden, man. Maxey's going to be nice for Philly, man. He's going to be a real nice player, bro.
Talk about a true gamer. Like, he may not have, like, the most efficient stat line on a game-to-game basis, but when you need someone to make that steal, that bucket, that's who he is. Yeah. And, him and IQ are just both completely opposite games. Like, IQ's more of a shooter, floater guy. Maxey's a guy who will relentlessly attack the rim. Right. A little bit more playmaking in his arsenal. If honestly, and for all those Dragon Ball fans out there, they need to be like Goten and Trunks, do that fusion and come together, and then you have the player that you want. That's the perfect play everybody wants.
Yeah. DP in the chat says IQ can be better than him. I don't see it. I don't think so. I think Maxey has a way better complete bag than Quickly does. Quickly's working on that, but he doesn't have Maxey shot creation or to be able to get to the rim in that way. Well, IQ had a good game tonight. Shout out to him. I thought he bounced back well, man. 21 points. Gave us some fire to close the lead in the third quarter and in the fourth. IQ was nice tonight, man. So it's not a bad thing to say that he's not as good as Maxey. Maxey's good, man. Maxey's solid. So, IQ's good, but he's not as good as Maxey. That's just keeping it a buck. Let's just keep it real here. All right.
Yeah, he's not a consistent shooter. Like we've seen that this season, and he's not as of right now. If he does become a point guard, great. But as of right now, he's not a point guard. He's a better off-ball scorer, and even when he's an off-ball scorer, you get inconsistent shooting from him as well. So that's it.
That's a fact.
That's all he is.
It's simple and plain. Simple and plain. Salute to our friends at Prizepicks. As you guys know, Prizepicks is daily fantasy sports made easy, man. The Prizepicks is the presenting sponsor of Knicks Post Game Live. And when we talk about daily fantasy sports, we're talking about props. That is what Prizepicks specializes in. It's over and under. It's an over-under game. Very simple to play. You go to prizepicks.com, sign up with the promo code KFTV. That's how you support us. and they will match your deposit of up to $100. So it's a good deal. If you want to play with $20, they'll match you $20. You got $40. You want to play with $50, they'll match you $50. You play with $100, and then once you get in there and you sign up, now it's time to play. And so once again, you're just picking between 3 to 5 players, and Prizepicks sets their lines based on, the lines makers will set their stats, and you can choose between points, assists, rebounds. You have the points, rebounds, and assist combinator. You have fantasy score, 3 points made, free throws made. So here's where I went in my Prizepicks selections tonight, Al. Some of these games haven't started yet, but I went with Brandon Ingram first and foremost, 21.5 points. I went over Brandon Ingram against the Lakers. They'll be playing tonight at 10 o'clock. I also went with the chef, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors hosting Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. That's a 7:30 Eastern game on ABC or ESPN. I went chef over 24.5 points, so we'll see what happens there. Points, rebounds, and assists. I thought this one was a lock as well, man. I went against him in his debut against Minnesota, and he made me pay. Philly's going heavy with James Harden, and he doesn't look like he needs much time to get chemistry with his team because he's fit in seamlessly. I went over 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists with James Harden, and he was in his typical Harden bag. Finished with 55 points, rebounds, and assists combinator. So that one went well over, and that was a good play by CP the franchise. Next up, points, rebounds, and assists. I'm going with LaMelo. LaMelo against the Detroit Pistons, 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I thought that was a low number for LaMelo. He's been cooking the Pistons all year in 2 games. I think he's averaging around like 21, 10, and 6. So I'm looking at LaMelo to get that going for me. And then I also selected RJ Barrett over 3.5 free throws. That was my lock of the night. I thought that with RJ just, manning the helm with this new look Knicks offense, running it through him playing aggressive, even though he's not making them all, he's still going to get to the line a ton. And he kicked off the game getting to the line, finished with 10 free throw attempts and made 6. So I hit that over. So far, I hit 2 out of my 5. I typically play the 5-pick play. Put in $20 for my chance to win $200. So you guys at home, play to win. Like I said, go to prizepicks.com, enter promo code KFTV for a 100% match in your deposit of up to $100. And as usual, please play responsibly. All right, a couple more calls before we wrap up. Let's check back in with Truth. Let's go down to Arkansas. My guy Truth on the check-in. What's good, man?
Hey, CP.
Can
you hear me?
Loud and clear, man. You good now? What's good?
Yeah, man, you got some kind of block on the AirPods or something, man. You got some kind of little frequency blocker or something.
Hey, yo, Truth, I keep telling y'all, listen, man, we not trying to freeze ourselves out of the Apple sponsorship, but the AirPods is looking kind of funny in the light. They sounding kind of strange, man. I'm telling you, it's the feds. Yeah. You guys got to be careful, man.
Yeah, they tap.
They tap in.
For sure. They tap for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, man, Sunday, man, Knicks, man. Alex, how you feeling, man? I just called to say Jericho Sims, man, he didn't score no points, but his game was affecting Embiid completely all the way. Embiid had to shoot almost 30 free throws, and he ain't had number like 30-something points. So that's good, and Fournier just a cerebral player. He's shooting off the rip, You get him in a good spot, he going to fire it up, you know what I'm saying? And RJ, Badman, Broadway, Machine Gun, Barrett.
Yep.
You hear me going in, going straight to the rack. He's finishing on them layups this go trip, pretty normal game from Julius. And I'm glad I ain't see Taj this game, so it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Be safe, Truth. Good to hear from you, man. Be safe out there.
Y'all too, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's Truth from Arkansas on the check-in. Sounded a lot better, man. I'm telling you, I can't endorse those AirPods, Al. It's too much static with the frequency. Apple is very, very hand-in-hand with the government. I just think it's a little too big brother for me, man. It's a little too big brother for me. I don't do the iPhones. I had to get the MacBook to run the show. This is just a little too much, man. I think something's up with those AirPods, man. Be careful with that. All the metaverse and all that.
Come on, man. What's wrong with the government getting your information?
I'm telling you, man, this technology is moving at rapid fire. I just, I'm picking and choosing how I get involved with these things. I'm still going old school with wired, corded headphones and an Android phone. You know what I'm saying?
You probably still got the wired jack in the house too, don't you?
That's a fact. That's a fact. You never know where you might need it. So, salute to Truth. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Truth is checking in from Arkansas. Where are you guys checking in from in the chat, man? Throw your cities in the chat. Let us know where you're checking in from. Throw your flags in the chat if you guys are checking in overseas, international. Again, shout out our guys over in Europe, our UK squad, Germany, Austria, our guys over in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, the Philippines on the check-in. We got a big fan base out there, so definitely shout out to you guys. Shout out to our guys in Brazil, man. Big fan base over in Brazil as well. So yeah, man, definitely big up all of our callers, man, from around the world. We got Real One checking in from Queens, Drew Licata from Miami. Drew, we're gonna go to you next on the Discord. Jamie Peralta, CP with his VHS videos.
CP's putting the blank tape in just to make sure he's in a stack pile, man. He's got a stack pile in the back.
Dead the hype. CP still got a fax machine. Shout out Tommy Louis, Haymarket, VA. VA stand up, man. Used to dribble down to VA. What's going on, Navy Blue CP on that mob life? I'm still using pay. There still might be a payphone out there, man. I'm calling. So
about to say, using watch The Sopranos right now, right? All right, man.
I'm calling the plug from the payphone, man. Forget about it. Calling it for the payphone. Patrick Craft, Luxembourg. Okay, Ghetto Clownfish from New Zealand. Let's go. Chi-Town, Russell Reed, repping Jamaica too, Al. Let's go.
Let's go.
Andrew
Big
Lazar.
ups.
Yeah, man. Big up everybody in Jamaica for sure. Andrew Lazar, I think that's Germany. And look, man, for those of you with family in Russia, the Ukraine, or if that's your background, definitely want to salute to you guys as well, man.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously war was never the answer. Not here to pick sides because I'm not that educated on the conflict, but I just say overall, you never want to see people losing their lives and innocent civilians losing their lives and things like that over this type of stuff. So definitely, if your family's impacted, we want to salute to you guys and lift you guys up for sure. Lift you guys up for sure. Okay, couple more calls and then we'll wrap up. Continue on this Sunday. Nice day out here in New York. How's the weather up there in Boston now?
It's cold, man. Went outside, it's freezing.
No doubt.
Still wearing my Carhartt, my Tim's out here, all right? Trying to stay warm when I go outside.
Keep it thorough, man. Keep it thorough. All right, let's go back to the phones. Couple more. Michael White, what's good?
Oh, man. Just another Knicks game. I mean, they all look the same.
Yeah.
Nothing, we can talk about whether we trade a Randall, but it doesn't matter if we don't fire Thibs. I mean, we can keep him this year, but they've got to get another coach. That guy loses games from his coaching. I mean, his coaching is causing us to lose games. I mean, it's not always talent out there. We have guys that are making mistakes. That happens, but his coaching is actually hurting us. I mean, he's the one who made a decision to change the lineup in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Yeah. All good points, man. All good points. We want to see better adjustments from him. Just haven't been seeing it. And you're seeing coach after coach just get the better of him. So certainly not a good look for Tim's. Mark, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right, thanks. How you doing, CP?
Good, man.
First of all, I want to say that Maxie was like a Tasmanian devil up there running circles around Burks.
Yes.
But then you see the difference when IQ came in at the point with the young guys. The game went from like night and day. It picked up. And Thibs is always talking numbers, right? If you check out the plus minus for the 76ers, they're all in double digits for the starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
For the Knicks, it was all in the minuses, right? Then you have, why is it that always in the fourth quarter, every game, the Knicks fall apart? It's because they're fatigued. If you notice, they settled for jump shots. They was too slow on defense. They were practically holding the door open for the players to come down the middle. It wasn't getting a loose ball. All this happened within the last 6-7 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And if you remember, right, in Thibs' practice interview, he stated that he has to go with experience, especially in the fourth quarter, because the game is different in the fourth quarter. The decision-making is different. Managing the clock is different.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew that McBride wasn't going to get any time. What I was hoping was that Cam did get more time. He was excellent. Sims, excellent. Like you say, no one can hold and beat is on another level. But they did the best they can. They contained them with just shooting free throws.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Thibs has to make up his mind, in my eyes. And I agree with the young man that just got off the telephone, because if you look at Utah when Jerry Sloan had it, they didn't have any real all-stars, but they made it to the playoffs for 20 consecutive years in a row.
Yeah, they always
with just regular players. So Thibs just have to I'm not – if he could just correct this fourth quarter thing, if he knows when to insert the right players at the right time, because to me, at the beginning of the game, the middle of the game, what I would see it was that the starting lineup was just too slow for the 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
Put the young guys in there, the tempo changed, it was a high-octane offense, the game got slow, the game got faster, they got closer, and then Thibs does what he always does.
I appreciate the call, Bob. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right, rapid fire, we going. Oh, we got to go to our guy, Tom from Huntington. Tom, what's good?
Gentlemen, happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday, Tom. What's
just
good?
want to say fantastic work as always. Shout out to Manscaped. You already know the love I have for Manscaped, but I'm a better person today. Anyway, want to shout out Joel Embiid at the free throw line. Thank you for helping me with Prizepicks.
There you go.
That was beautiful, beautiful work there at the free throw line. At first, I'm like, there's no way he's going to have over 10 or 11 free throws, and then what did he have that in the first 30 seconds of the game?
Yeah.
As far as the game, I'm not surprised. It was more competitive than I thought it would be, but I mean, you could see the talent that Philly has is just ridiculous, and I mean, they have a really good chance to go all the way this year. Let's see what happens. But as far as the Knicks, like I said, we need more talent. We need more intelligent players. High IQ, and I'm not talking about quickly. But we just need more high IQ guys. Yes, we need a point guard. Just get Jalen Brunson. Let's stop playing games. We're going to keep waiting for that 6'5", point guard with great defense, amazing jump shot, and a 48 vertical. It's not coming.
Right.
Just get Brunson. He's a smart player. He's a good shooter, good passer. Even at Villanova, he used to run that team. He's like a floor general. I mean, let's just go for him. He's better than anything in this draft. I'm just telling you. Yeah. I've been watching Ty. I'm not impressed. I know it's early. I mean, we haven't really done draft talk and stuff, but Ty doesn't do it for me. The guy's weakness is he can't get by people. We don't need any more of that. But as far as I guess that's pretty much it. Listen, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you for taking my call as always, and we'll talk soon. All right, let's go Knicks.
Good call, Tom. Good call, man. Everybody rate that call in the chat, 1 to 5, 1 being trash, 5 being facts. My guy Tom from Huntington never misses a beat. Shout out.
Look at that, coming in, giving all the sponsors. Did the prize picks for you?
Yeah.
Did the Manscaped?
Yeah.
Man was in here, gave his thoughts, everything.
He understands. This is a movement. This is a wave. You got to support. And there's many ways. Again, I tell you guys all the time, there's many ways to do so. You can hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Share these videos. Those I just gave you 4 ways you could do it for free. Send a donation. We always appreciate it. People may not have it, and that's all good. We understand and we appreciate it. So the donations are also good. If you're able to give, that's great too. But another way, supporting our sponsors. You support our sponsors, you support us. So those are 3 ways you can certainly support us. And that way we keep it going and we invest in the show. We invest in giving you guys a quality product. And that way, look, man, a lot of people under the impression that, mainstream media's ice is colder. We have it all right here, ladies and gentlemen. We have it all right here. So as you guys continue to support and we invest, we can take this thing to new heights, man. We don't have to worry about what the big boys have to say about the orange and blue, because we were doing it all right here. Solid analysis. Add some levity to it. You want the insiders, we give you the insiders. Shout out my guys, Ian Begley. Shout out Mark Berman of the Post, man. We get you the insiders. Alan Hahn, season preview with Alan Hahn. Shout out Han Solo. Get you the player interviews, soup to nuts, man. We're working on some more stuff, but just continue to support as Tom does, and everything will be A-okay, man.
And Tom also mentioned draft, talked about Ty.
Yeah.
Not too big on him as well. I think he does everything. He's a jack of all trades, but a jack of none. I think if you want to go into more trade talk, guys, make sure
jack of all trades, master of none. You mean
master of none? Yeah,
okay,
thank you for that.
Gotcha.
Master of none.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for clearing that up. Make sure to go to KnicksFanTV.com. Our boy Jeffrey Campbell wrote a draft piece for there. We got the shooting guards coming out this week. He's doing the top 3 shooting guards that are coming out this week as well. So be on the lookout for that. He does mention Ty. So if you want more scoop on how Ty Washington plays, make sure to go check out Jeff's article. Just make sure to go to KnicksFanTV.com in general and go support everyone over there. We got awesome writers, give you every flavor that you're looking for, whether that's culture, you're looking for player reviews, you're looking for draft analysis, you're looking for game recaps, you're looking for roundtables, everything. We got you covered over there as well. So make sure to check out KnicksFanTV.com and be on the lookout for the shooting guard article coming out this week.
Absolutely, man. No question. No question. And, look, real quick to Tom's point. Yeah, I think Philly, I think the addition of Harden, I think both teams are going to be improved greatly by this trade. I think it was a great trade for both teams. With Philly, you now get another guy that you can count on, man, a dominant threat with the ball in his hands. Harden's looking motivated now with this team, and when the playoffs come and things tighten up in the half court, they're going to be dangerous because you have 2 guys who can create in isolation. They can play off of each other. That pick and roll is going to be ferocious. They have guys to space it for them, whether it's Maxey, Harris. You still have Danny Green off the bench. They still have Tybal, who's their lockdown defender. And then, look at the way these guys can draw contact, man. They have that art. They pull out that trick bag and can consistently draw contact. And, when things slow down in the playoffs, I think that's what you're going to need. So I think Philly's definitely well built. We'll see what if their bench is deep enough to get them through. I think that'll be, that bears watching. And how does Harris work with this team? You got 2 ball dominant guys with Embiid and Harden. Somebody's game has to be sacrificed, and it could be Harris, who's another max guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how they balance it. But who cares? This is a Knicks show. So anyway, to close the show, final 2 calls. Drew from the Hoops Realm podcast. Drew, what's good? Drew there? Drew going once on the Discord. So, Drew, I see you're unmuting your mic, but I don't see any levels coming out of the microphone. So, Drew, I'm not so sure. You may want to try calling in on the switchboard. So, try calling in on the switchboard, and we'll see if we can get that worked out.
Can you hear me now by any chance?
Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Let's go.
Switch out my headphones to my Mac audio, so hopefully it sounds good enough.
Good to go now. Perfect.
All right. So, guys, it's been a hot minute since I've been on. You guys know that. First off, shout out CP and the crew.
Sure.
Always a fantastic show, and I'm always ecstatic when you guys drop me in for the live. I'm always excited to talk to you guys and just do all that. For starters, I'm just gonna say this. Julius, man. On one thing, I just have a very love-hate relationship with this guy because, for starters, he's unintentionally helping our tank, and that's also including Thibodeau. But at the same time, it's like the more and more time goes on, the less and less it seems like that it's a very team-friendly deal that we gave him, considering that he's ruining career nights for RJ and is doing all that stuff, shooting 2 of 15, and today he shot 4 of 13. As far as that goes, part of this is going to plan to me, just simply for the fact that we may not even need to go to free agency to get a point guard because we've been playing so bad as of lately that we could slide into that 6, 7, 8 pick and possibly move up to get either Ty Washington or Jaden Ivey, or we can get Ty Washington as a backup. So honestly, I know you guys are probably not going to like this, but I kind of want to keep losing, and I'm projecting to win the next 7 out of 21 games you got left, so 1/3 of the games left. And yeah, let's hope we get this point guard, and let's hope for an ascension going forward. But anyways,
we're with you, man.
You guys
Yeah, we're with you, bro. Run the tank. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. don't get us confused here, pal. You know, we'll break it down the game, but this was a solid win for the tank, man. So the fatigues are getting dusted off. They got some nice like camouflage Knicks gear that I'm about to start rocking. Oh, we're getting ready, man. We're getting ready. Don't get me wrong. This was a solid of a loss as they come. We saw some things. They kept it competitive till last 6 minutes of the fourth. We saw Sims get activated. We want to see more from Cam. Understand that. We want to see more McBride. Understand that. But this was a good one, man. This was a good one for the tank. So let's keep it rolling. And speaking of tank, let's bring in to close the show one of our tank commanders and a frequent closer these days, man. King Deej. King Deej on the check-in. What's good?
Yo, what's good, Knicks family? Orange and blue running up. I had to pull over. Yo, excellent call, by the way, from Drew. Excellent call, man. Listen, I know it hurts today. I know it's going to hurt for these next couple of weeks, but the tank keeps moving. Hashtag tank moving. And listen, I'm not sold on Ty either. I'm not sold on AJ Griffin. In my opinion, it's all or nothing for Jaden or all or nothing for Johnny Davis. If you had to go best available, like if you missed out on Ivy, then I would go with Johnny Davis, my man from Wisconsin. But listen, man, I can't be mad. This is how you tank. This is the right way to tank. The only thing that I can knock Thibs on is that this Burks Hive, man, he is the leader, the supreme overlord of the Burks Hive. My man, Cam Reddish, had more assists than Burks while Burks is playing the point guard spot. Like, that's hilarious. That's just comical. CP, I'm not coming at you. Listen, I understand. Yeah. Burks Hive, I get y'all. I understand. Yeah. But it's killer season, man. One way or another, it's got to be killer season sooner or later. Yeah. Other than that, RJ looked great. IQ, like I've been saying, is not a point guard. He looked fantastic when he's playing off the ball next to RJ Barrett. Jericho Sims giving us 10 rebounds before the half. I love that. I can't be mad. This is how you tank. If there's only one critique to the tank, putting Cam. But to be fair, to Thibs, if he would have kept Cam in, it was a 2-point game when he took Cam out. They might have won the game. So I'm good with that. Don't win the games, Thibs. All right, let's keep tanking, baby. We talk about tank commanders. He might be the tank general, baby. I love it. Peace and love. I know it hurts. Everybody should put on that Pelicans jersey tonight. Because if the Pelicans beat the Lakers on ESPN tonight, we officially move into the 8th spot from the 9th. They have one win over us, and they won that game, that tiebreaker, to get that. So you got to root for the Pelicans. You got to root for the Spurs. You got to root for the Blazers, man. Let's go. Run it up. Peace and love.
King Deej with a little perspective, closing the show. That's what we like, man. Salute, man. I think was Deej trying to say that I went easy on Burks? I didn't go easy on Burks, man. I didn't go easy.
I think he was just trying not to hurt your feelings, man. He's just trying not to hurt your feelings.
Listen,
he knows you're big. He knows you're the president of the Burks Hive. All right, we know you got that card. You rock it heavy. It's all good.
Listen, I can't defend him if he's giving me nothing to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't all the way delusional with the Burks Hive membership. You know what I'm saying? If he don't got it, he don't got it. And tonight was a night he should not have been playing in critical minutes down the stretch. You know, let's just call it a buck. We all watching the same game. He was terrible.
Not a point guard.
He's not a point guard. And I've been consistent in saying that I'd never wanted him to play the point guard, bro. Never wanted him to play the point guard. But nevertheless, this coach is enamored with this. I don't know, man. It is what it is. But great show nevertheless. Great show, Al. Great show, the mods. TM. Great show, Jared on the phone. Salute to everybody on the Discord that checked in. Great calls, man. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Knicks Weekly kicking off tomorrow. So we'll be back. Myself, JD, Alex in the mix. And the Knicks will now embed on a 7-game road trip. Philly, Phoenix, Clippers, Sacktown, Dallas, Memphis, and Brooklyn, who could have Ben Simmons at that point. But did they just say that Ben Simmons is out now? He hurt his back. Doing intensity drills. You can't make it up. My man was doing a whole lot of nothing for 60 games. Why weren't you doing intensity drills during that part? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a...
Harden's out here wearing fat suits. We got Ben Simmons not working out. Things are wild.
You can't make it up, man. My man was doing a whole lot of nothing, and he's not ready. He's still not ready. Can't make it up.
That team's a mess. Yeah, I love it. I love the Mets are a mess, man. Love it.
Only in the NBA, folks. Shout out to Blizzy. Busy sends a $5 super chat. Says IQ not a consistent shooter because he don't get consistent minutes. He needs a coach that will trust him like Maxey has. No, I don't agree. I think IQ's minutes have been consistent off the bench this year, and he's been given a larger role, I think, but he just hasn't been playing well. Let's just keep it a buck. Today, he was on fire. He was on point, and was a big part of why we were able to keep this thing close. Big part of that. Le Jr. says trade Randall for Toronto's mascot. I like his energy and opposing teams at the free throw line.
You saw that Devin Booker one, right?
Yeah, of course. That's what I was thinking about when I read that super chat. Shout out to Michael Parker, number one fan of the show, says not to beat a dead horse, but Thibs has got to go. At this point, we have to give Mark Jackson serious consideration. We need to make some serious moves this offseason. Shout out to Michael Parker. I don't think we go Jackson Hive, but Jackson Hive is alive, man. They've never wavered over the last 4 or 5 years, man. Jackson Hive is alive. Junior Karoma says Knicks are desperately missing D-Rose. Yeah. Cynthia, shout out Cynthia Wolf, says, salute Knicks Nation. I told y'all from the beginning. I remember Ash stating that I was calling out Thibs. Thibs has got to go. He is out-coached each and every time ever since the playoffs last year. Cynthia took out the flamethrower. She's doubling down, 10 toes. And that's it. That's it, man. So salute to everybody. Oh, we got one more in here. Corso117 says no one snatches defeat from the jaws of victory like the New York Knicks. The Manhattan Armored Division rolls on. Salute to Corso117. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate the love, man. And salute to the replay gang, man. Salute to everybody catching up on the replay gang, whether you're watching after the show or you're watching tomorrow's replay of this live stream. We appreciate it. Throw a hashtag replay gang in the comment section. Let me know that you guys are in here. Once again, people, go to prizepicks.com, enter promo code KFTV for a 100% matching and deposit of up to $100. Play to win. Right now, I've hit 2 of my picks out of 5. We'll see what happens when the rest of the games kick off. My shot at winning $200. You guys at home, play responsibly. Remember, go to manscaped.com. As my guy Tom says, changed his life. Go out and go get that Lawnmower 4.0 and other products. Promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Always a great deal. And remember that this show is presented by is available in audio podcast format. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major ones. So we are everywhere, man. If you can't catch it live, you can't catch it on video, throw it on in the car, throw it on in the Uber, throw it on when you're driving the truck late at night, throw it on in the podcast, man, on your commute home or to work tomorrow, and it'll be a great listen. So great show once again. Tough loss, but good win for the tank. And we'll check you guys tomorrow on Knicks Weekly, CP the Franchise, the Tradacast.